Hi and welcome to this tutorial to build your painting skills. In this session, we will create an illustrative painting utilizing a considered color scheme and pattern. This take may prove beneficial if you are not into realism. This task should take you about 45 to 60 minutes to complete depending on your paper size. I will work A4, but feel free to work 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters if you wish. So I stumbled across this image while surfing online and just loved the use of color and the polka dot pattern. It reminded me a little of Yayoi Kusama's work, so let's try and have some fun with it. I've decided I'm going to use 4 main colors. I suggest you to look at the color wheel and decide on a color scheme. The easiest way to create harmony in your work is to go complementary, meaning colors opposite on the color wheel, but any of these schemes could work. I found this reference photo online and will simply use it for compositional purposes. Feel free to use any photo you prefer. This tutorial could be used as a basis for your own creative work. Feel free to watch it in its entirety and then apply it to your own chosen object. But if you are feeling a little reluctant, feel free to follow along and mimic what I do. I chose a plant because if a mistake is made, no one will really know due to the organic shapes. The first thing I'm going to do is draft out the plant. I put the horizon line around 2/3 down the page. I'm not worried about accuracy in depicting the plant. It's illustrative, so we can make it playful. Next, I'm going to tone my whole paper this off yellow that I have. When done, let it dry, or better, use a blow dryer. I should also mention that I have a cup of water to wash my brush before using a new color. I'm going to create a pattern in the background, so I make a slightly darker yellow-orange. I remembered I had these stencils, so I'm going to give them a try. Single-use stencils could also be made with paper by yourself. If you don't have access to a stencil, feel free to create a pattern in your background with your brush. You may notice that when I use the stencil, I paint away from the edge so the paint doesn't seep under it. A stencil brush would be ideal, but I'm not going to worry about it for this exercise. I'll next paint the plants green. I have a lot of this bright green, so I want to use it up. It's a little too bright, so I'm going to add some dark blue to darken it a bit. I'm using a rather large brush and turn it on its side to create the thin line work. I'm going to fill in the leaves a solid color and not worry about adding values. I'll later use a different green to add line work. I need to add a second coat to the leaves. Next, I'm going to create a dark tone for the soil in the pot. I'm going to use this turquoise for the table surface and will probably have to apply 2 coats. So you might be wondering why I toned my whole paper the yellowy orange. This is optional, but colors do look a little different when layered on top of each other to when just painting on the white paper or canvas. I didn't really do it when I started out as I felt it wasted paint, but now I do notice the difference in the colors. I'll leave it up to you to decide. I'm going to mix a lighter turquoise blue to apply a pattern to this area. I'm going to use another stencil, but several artists do this freehand with their brush, often disregarding correct perspective as well. The result can often appear playful and charming. I paint through the stencil as I did previously. Now I will paint the pot black. I'll mix some blue with it so it appears more rich. This is a good habit when painting with black. While the black pot dries, I'll create a lighter green to apply the leaf veins. For this kind of detail work, it would be easier if I rotated my paper and painted towards myself, but due to my camera setup for creating this video I can't. so at times it feels a little awkward for me. For another decorative element, I'll paint some white stripes on the pot. I'm going to do this freehand as I want evidence of the artist's hand to show through. I'm also curious to see how it'll look in contrast to the stencil patterns used. If I reflect on my painting, what might I do better next time? Overall, I think it's okay, especially for not much planning being done besides the color scheme. I wish I was less smooth for the leaf veins. I wonder if I was more shaky like the pot lines, if it would be better unified. What I am curious about is trying to do another one and creating all the patterns by hand instead of using stencils. I hope this has helped you develop your painting skills in a new approach. If you enjoy this sort of thing, you may be interested in the work of Alice Eyre or the folk art approach of Dinara Mrtelapova. Be sure to check out some of the other videos to continue building your skills. Painting takes time and practice. Don't give up.